It's me, Joe Matarese, and welcome to the podcast. Now, right off the bat, I gotta apologize for the last 2 episodes. Turns out one of them internet hackers stole my essence. You ever get it where one of those internet hackers steals your essence? Happened to me the last 2 podcasts. Can you believe it? So I hear this cyber sfagato uses some sort of artificial intelligence to misrepresent yours truly. Now I take legal action, but I just spent my last $14 on an emergency hairdo. I'm receding so bad, my quiff's declared independence from the rest of my hairline. It's starting to look like a fucking iceberg poking out of my skull. My wife tells me it looks dignified, but seconds later and she's shit-talking me with Drax next door. Tells him I look like an emaciated rhinoceros. I wouldn't mind, but I'm pretty sure she's banging the guy. I keep finding Drax's keys in our fruit bowl. It's like he's rubbing it in over here. Stop by for a dinner party, just the 3 of us. He moves my fucking chair to the corner of the dining room, and then hands me an empty plate. Spent the next half hour watching him spoon-feed my wife mouthfuls of fettuccine. I can't help but think he was trying to tell me something. I then find out my kid's on Kiwi Farms trying to create a thread about his own father. Said I'm a certified lol cow in dire need of milking. My own flesh and blood we're talking about. Now people from my old neighborhood would have put their Sicilian forearms clean through the kid's jaw for disrespect like that. But these pills have dulled so much of my edge on my psychological sphere. Chose to look at the bright side. Even signed up for a Kiwi Farms account to plug a couple of gigs. Got a big weekend at Canara Performing Arts Centre in Westchester, but nobody's biting. Tried donating tickets to a local homeless shelter, but they said charity only extends so far. Then Josh Moon closes the entire thread for what he calls objective insignificance. It's like I can't even get trolled these days. Now I know what you're all thinking. Poor old Pizza Joey down on his luck. What's the point even listening to this morbid trash? Why doesn't he kill himself? But I did a little digging through the Matarese archives and found an absolute classic from yesteryear. It's an interview I did with the legend himself, the late Norm MacDonald. Take it away, Joe. Hey, is that Norm?
Yeah, who's this?
Classic MacDonald, always cracking wise.
How did you get this number?
There he goes again, poking fun at little Joey Mats like the old days.
Oh, it's you. What do you want, Joe?
Can't a fellow artistic performer treading on the same comedic path catch up with his peers once in a while?
What the heck are you talking about?
I'm just saying, nothing wrong with a couple of old school industry legends like ourselves shooting the shit for like 6 or 7 minutes in some sort of interview type format.
Wait, are you recording this, Joe?
Recording what? This phone call?
Yeah, for your podcast, the Italian thing.
I'm offended you'd think I'd stoop so low as to clandestinely record private conversations for podcast content. Now that said, is it a 2-party consent state over there?
So you're recording. Great. Goodbye, Joe.
No, wait, look, Norm, I'm sorry, I truly am. It's just that things have been tough these days, what with the whole booking talent, attracting an audience, selling tickets. Who knew comedy could be such a fucking drag?
It's really that bad, huh?
Well, I did do a gig at the store.
You were in Los Angeles? Not bad, Joe. Not bad at all.
No, not the comedy store. I did 4 hours of crowd work through Costco's PA system.
Yeah, well, them's the breaks, kid.
I wouldn't mind, but at least bring me in during opening hours. Spent 45 minutes riffing on dairy products to a Mexican shelf stacker. And even he was heckling.
So is this your podcast? Just a bunch of incessant whining about not making it as a comedian?
I also do impressions.
Well, that's perfect. Could you do talentless loser hanging up the phone?
Everything's one big fucking joke to you.
I'm a comedian. For God's sakes, lighten up a little.
Well, I guess that's the difference between you and me. I'm a real person, Norm, with real feelings.
Yeah, I'm sure that's the only difference.
It's all well and good you laughing at the world from high up on your pedestal, but things are different down here.
If I promise to help you out, will you please stop calling me?
Gotta be honest with you, Norm. Best I can do is some sort of temporary amnesty. My psychiatrist tells me I've got low impulse control. Can you believe that? Said it's intrinsically linked to my addictive personality defects. I'm telling you, Norm, my wife's paying this broad to trash me.
Fine, whatever. Well, look, my usual feature's double booked for the end of my next tour. I guess the gig's yours if you want it.
What sort of scratch we talking?
How does $60 a show sound?
$60? Are you crazy? I'd have done it for 15. You won't regret this, Norm.
I do have one condition, and it's kind of a big deal.
Just you name it, I'll do anything.
I'll be needing you to perform in costume.
In costume? What is this, some sort of themed tour we're talking about?
I guess you could say that.
Yeah, sure. Could be a chance for me to showcase my acting skills. You ever see Fixin' Joe? Drink the wine? You know what? I'll just WhatsApp you the whole series.
If a single megabyte of one of your low-rent vanity projects finds its way into my cell phone, I'm deleting your number on the spot.
Always with the jokes, typical Norm.
I'll also be writing your material, for lack of a better word.
But I got's the perfect 15. I crushed at my kid's pool party. You should have seen it. Standing ovations from at least 12 toddlers.
I'm sorry, Joe, but there's really no wriggle room if you get my drift.
You get me up on that stage and I'm wriggling to whatever you want.
That's music to my ears, Joe. So what do you know about invertebrates?
Well, if you're looking for creatures with no backbone, just tune in to Sirius XM.
Worms, Joe. I'm talking about worms.
Yeah, I heard of them. Wait, you're not suggesting
Think about it. The future of performance artistry. Here lies Joe Matarese, writhing violently on stage, hopelessly flailing around in a perfect metaphor of his entire career. Just like how the worm exists at the very bottom of its own ecosystem, Joe's Analytian fate follows the same arc, surrounded by mounds of comedic soil, navigating blindly towards his eventual demise. And then we get Adam Egget to swoop in and peck at you a little, like a bird.
Do you honestly expect me to humiliate myself like this? Is your opinion of me so low you think I'd wriggle around on stage like a fucking worm?
I suppose I could always ask Kevin Brennan. That washed-up retard would bukkake his own brother for $60. Come to think of it, he does have a worm-like physiognomy about him.
Fine, I'll do it. Just don't tell my wife and we got ourselves a deal.
Not so fast, Joe. I want to hear it.
You want to hear what?
I want to hear you say, I'll be a little worm for you, Norm.
Come on, is this really necessary?
I bet Kevin would say it.
All right, I'll be a worm for you, Norm.
A little worm.
I'll be a little worm for you, Norm.
Now stop calling and delete my number.
So wait, do I gots the gig or what? Norm? Hello? Yeah, turns out there was no gig. Anyway, here's a little word from our sponsors.
Do you have a bunch of old Skylander figurines or Disney trading cards just clogging the boxes in your attic? Maybe a loose copy of Super Princess Peach or a tiny Tinkerbell bracelet you simply can't get rid of? If you have long let go of your childhood and are ready to pass on that adolescent burden to a schizophrenic man-child, give your buddy Teddy Feezer a call on 965-624-7422 today. I will offer you an amazing deal on all your little girl trinkets, providing our customers with the least bad faith service this side of the sector. So call Teddy Feezer today or visit our website at infinitemoneyglitch.com. No cocksuckers, no gay logs.
Are you tired of stray cats keeping you up all night? Are you sick of navigating your way around homeless tabbies in the gas station forecourt? If you would much rather see an obese drug addict like me take care of Tampa's feline infestation, then hit your boy Mersh up right away. By simply littering the streets with donated treats, I'll fill your neighborhood with so many possums and raccoons, the cats will have no option but to endure my smoke-filled Section 8 apartment against their will. And by forcing these exploitable creatures to help grift super chats through endless hours of synthwave cat streams, your donations will help me supplement my rapidly declining income. So if you got a couple tree bucks lying around, be sure to help finance this ridiculous toxoplasmic crisis today. Find me over on Royce's Twitter.
Joe said I could use this advertisement space for anything I wanted, so here goes. Pantsu, you goddamn horse-faced bitch. You will pay for what you've done, you hear me? You fucked around, and I promise on my daddy's ring, you will find out. You're done. It's over for you. You understand? I'm not playing anymore. Hide and fucking watch me, you dirty whore. I'll say it right here on Joe Matarese's podcast. If you think that ass whooping I gave you was bad, just you wait, motherfucker. With the tapes I got, you better learn to shut your fucking mouth. I'll put all your shit out there, and we both know you don't want that smoke. Let's just say Lollycon's the least of your worries right now, you sick fuck. Time for you to suffer, horse. Alright, Joe, I think that's the take. So how many subscribers did you say you had again? 'Cause I ain't paying if nobody's listening, you understand?
Thanks again to the loyal sponsors. Made over $13 in just 2 minutes of podcasting. Couple more advertisements and I'm clearing 6 figures. Who's the parasitic layabout now, Red Bar? So anyway, we were slated to have my best friend Sebastian Maniscalco swing by the show. But now he says he's expecting to be involved in some sort of vehicular emergency over the next 3 months. Tells me it's totally out of his control, but I've heard that before. I once had Dan Soder bail on me over a temporary case of the bubonic plague. Can't help but think these guys are dodging me. Luckily, I found the one comic desperate enough to consider my podcast a lucrative platform. It's Kevin Brennan. Hey, how's it going?
What sort of shitty introduction was that, Joe?
It's a classic podcasting trick. You set the bar low and nobody's disappointed.
I know I'm not exactly Sebastian, but at least hype me up a little.
So, you, want a do-over?
I mean, it'll probably look a tad desperate, but at this point of our careers, who gives a fuck?
What do you mean, our careers? I just made $13 on ad reads alone.
Oh, so you think you're above me now? That's interesting.
Not for nothing, but I am above you. I mean, alls you got is some clout-chasing Wigger sibling and Sarah Silverman's vaginal blood on your fucking bedsheets.
Yeah? And what about you? What is this, your 10th podcast now? I mean, how many times can an audience tell you they're not interested before you start paying attention?
Your only friend in show business is some Mexican sex offender whacking his package in locked hotel rooms, and even he won't answer your calls.
You're a contestant, Joe. America might have talent, but you ain't it.
That was a goddamn fix. Low blow, Kevin.
You don't think I know that? They pulled the same shit to me at Star Search. Gave it to the black guy. Big surprise.
Don't get me started on African Americans. It's like every audition I go to some sort of civil rights rally. I went in for a Broadway rendition of Amadeus, reading for Salieri. I figure it's an Italian entertainer filled with bitterness, resentment, and a psychological rejection of his own mediocrity. I'm the perfect cast. They end up giving the role to Shantae fucking Wyans.
Just last week, they handed my spot at the cellar to some Somalian migrant they found rooting through the trash outside. The guy doesn't even speak English.
But dare speak a word of it and you're blackballed.
Or even worse, you end up on compound media.
I'd rather set myself on fire.
You won't catch me working for some tranny-chasing pedophile, that's for sure.
I taught you at a show there. You know, digging ditches with Kevin Brennan.
It's burning bridges. And technically, we worked for that incompetent faggot Keith the cop.
So who's the digging ditches guy?
That's not a show, you idiot. Jesus, do you need another Adderall or something?
Already popped a handful of them before the show. Any more and I'm doing laps around the man cave for the next 6 hours.
So what are we even doing here, Joe?
What are you talking about? We're podcasting.
Let me guess. You did all your prep on Sebastian and now you're stuck with me with nothing to say, right?
I gotta be honest, I'm dying over here. Help me out a little bit.
Well, whenever I feel my show dragging, I just pick a random fight out of nowhere. Works every time.
Yeah, I'm just about hopped up enough to try it. So who you thinking?
I mean, Kumia's a pretty easy target. Not only does the guy look like a Transylvanian crypt keeper, but he's a degenerate fuck to top it off. You might even get a few trolls off your back in the process.
That's perfect. So, do I just start ranting at the guy, or?
It's like wrestling. Just look at it like you're cutting a promo.
Not for nothing, but wrestling's for gay retards and demented faggots. You got another analogy?
I don't know, Joe. I mean, I guess it's like Rocky or something.
Yeah, now we're talking. Hey, Kumia, I'm coming for you. Just wait till I get my big Italian hands on you. I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna hurt you. I want all you, Anthony, and I ain't stopping till I got you in my arms. I'll be crushing you. I'll be smashing you. There's no escaping from my grasp, capiche? So, how was that?
Well, it wasn't great.
What did I do? I can take the criticism. Well, I can't, but for the sake of argument, let's say I can.
I'd say you came across more like a deranged freak. All that talk of crushing Kumia with your big Italian hands, you're basically just threatening the guy with physical violence at that point.
I can't do anything. I guess I'm just destined to rot away on the bottom rung of the ladder.
There's a lot to be said about that bottom rung. The second I decided to let go of it all and just dive into that barrel-scraping cesspit with the likes of Chad Zumach and Ray DeVito, everything just made sense all of a sudden.
Yeah, I guess you're right. I've just gotta embrace the inevitable descent into obscurity.
It's only when you become a nobody that you finally become somebody.
That's great advice. I'm done. I'm letting go of all of it. Thanks a lot, Kevin. You've changed my entire outlook.
Yeah, whatever. Take it easy, Joe.
So long, Kevin. And now it's time for more sponsors.
Are you an aging pedophile looking to throw away your life savings on a fool's errand? Are you a devoted fan of self-proclaimed authors with Trump derangement syndrome? Are you part of an exclusive fellowship of like-minded child molesters posing as science fiction fans? If the answer to these questions is yes, then boy do I have just the solution for you, child. My name is Patrick S. Tomlinson, and I'm what's known as a vexatious litigant. By gifting me a significant, albeit irredeemable loan generated through the historic sexual exploitation of minors, I can continue my ill-fated legal pursuit of 60 anonymous stalkers for the crime of calling me fat on the internet. And when the case is inevitably thrown out, likely a result of incompetent representation, all you good folks at the Science Fiction Writers Association can sleep easy knowing you pissed away over $100,000 on the retarded crusade of an obese spastic like me. So why not double down on a bad financial decision and bankroll my ever-fattening descent into rampant alcoholism and undiagnosed mental illness? Donate now at payquasi.lol.
Hey guys, it's Jim Norton. Please be sure to check out my smash hit documentary, The Worm Has Turned on Porcelain's channel. Over 700,000 views already and filled with some of my most heinous capers. Who could forget the time I snaked Louis C.K. for a faint whiff of virtuous media clout? Or how about the time I fell in love with a 7-foot Scandinavian cam-whoring tranny, only to be casually tossed aside for another of his degenerate pay pigs? What about when I fleeced a bunch of truckers over the world's shittiest cartoon just to simp for a female comedian? Or the time I stabbed the guy who graciously gifted me my entire broadcasting career square in the back for no reason whatsoever? With over 70 minutes of what I can confirm is an objectively true account of my crimes, you'd be a real scumbag to skip this unmissable masterpiece. And while you're there, why not check out the much-acclaimed sequel, The Least Professional Broadcaster? With yet another 80 minutes of non-stop hilarity, you'll uncover some of the malevolent secrets behind my Neanderthalic sidekick, Sam Roberts. From psychologically torturing interns to verbally abusing his own colleague to the point of suicide, this is a documentary you will not want to miss. Take it from a dry drunk larva like me, I will genuinely avoid motherfucking all of you on this incredible recommendation. So watch one or both. It's a tough one, man. Just be sure to enjoy mine and Sam's endless humiliation, baby boy.
Welcome back to 100% Italian with me, Joe Matarese. It's that time of the show where I gots to read a couple of internet chat mails from the fans. This one's from Ali Akbar. He says I'm sending this message from the past. I just found you as a child and I got some sinister plans to unravel. You might not like what's about to happen, but trust me, this is the only way to save America. Well, thanks for your support, I guess. Next we have Jackie Singh. She says, a device on your home network's highly vulnerable to exploitation. And whilst I could spend this evening paying my taxes, fighting for custody of my daughter, or losing weight, I'd much rather roleplay as some Pakistani cyber hacker on Twitter. Well, thanks for the warning. And finally, there's an email from my wife telling me to keep quiet cause her and Drax are busy watching a fucking movie. So, I guess that's the podcast.